a retro moped style e-bike with full suspension with a 1500 watt motor that will go 30 miles an hour on throttle only? Take a look at the V60 Pro from Movcan. Today I'm going to tell you everything I've learned about this moped style e-bike, the good things about it, and the areas I think could use some improving. So let's get into it. The Movcan V60 Pro ships as a Class 3 e-bike with speeds up to 30 miles an hour on throttle only. It comes with a 1500 watt brushless motor that peaks at 2000 watts and has a 48 volt 18.2 amp hour battery with a 54 volt 2 amp charger. The V60 Pro features 4 working modes: pure electric, PAS, cruise, and bike. It has a large non-adjustable motorcycle type seat that is fairly cushioned, and the frame is made of carbon steel. The bike has a max load of 330 pounds and weighs in at 102.3 pounds. The V60 Pro is a full suspension e-bike with front forks and a rear shock. It comes with 20-inch wheels with 4-inch fat tires. For braking, we have Logan hydraulic disc brakes on 160mm rotors, front and rear. The Movcan V60 Pro has a nice headlight, brake light with blinkers. The display is LCD, and on the control panel you have the on-off button, PAS up and down buttons, lights on and off buttons, directional buttons, and a horn button. It comes with a twist throttle on the right side and a 7-speed Shimano shifter with a Shimano derailleur. Movcan claims you can get 40 miles on battery only and 80 miles using PAS. Now let's take it out for the rider experience. Alright, now it's time to take this thing out for a ride. Now you can see how small it is. I think for just about any rider it's easy to get on because there's nothing hanging back here, and you can easily just bend this over and swing your leg. No problem. Turn it on. It does come on quickly. I like that. Some of them could take up to 10 to 15 seconds, but let's go. Now, one thing right off the bat, I'm going to tell you. While I get my GPS going here, is for tall riders. I am 6 foot tall. And I'm not going to be pedaling. First thing we're going to do is throttle only speed. And this is a 1500 watt motor with a 2000 watt peak. We'll go put it PAS5, sport mode, and let's go. $17, $18, $19, $20, $24, $25, $27, $28, $29. It would have gone to 30, but I had to stop. So, if you're looking for a fast bike that you don't have to pedal, here it is. And I'm guessing this type of bike is going to appeal more to the younger crowd because it looks like a little motorcycle, moped style, the kind they can just zip around on. It feels pretty maneuverable. But we're going to go down this trail here. We're going to try a little off-road. We're going to try testing the brakes out. We'll try testing the PAS levels out. Even though this is a cadence sensor, we'll see if the PAS levels dictate the speed with the throttle. And we're going to do some hill climbing. Not the normal hill climbing I do when I'm doing a review of another bike, because since I can't pedal, that hill that I am on is pretty far away and I don't want to wear the battery down too much. So I do have a little off-road hill I'm going to take, and I'll talk a little more about it when we get there. It's the one I used, or I tried the XPeak on, and the Velotric Summit 1. Okay, let's put in PAS1. There we go. And we'll just give it full throttle and see what happens. Yes, it is dictated. See, I am only doing what? 6 miles an hour. Let's hit PAS2. A little more power, kicks in pretty good, huh? 12 and a half. PAS 3. We're getting 18.3. PAS 4. Still going. 24.9. PAS 5. 27, 28, 29. And we got a little uphill right here. So your PAS levels will dictate your throttle speed. Let's go around this way. Actually, when we're in the, we've got a pretty empty parking lot right here. Let's go and do the brake test first. Now these are hydraulic disc brakes by Logan. They're on 160 millimeter rotors. Now that's one of my gripes right there, is this bike weighs 102 pounds. It's got a carbon steel frame instead of an aluminum frame, so it is a heavy bike. And then you put the rider weight on it too. I think they should have gone at least with 180 millimeter rotors. Okay, you ready? We're gonna try and get up to about 25 miles, 25, maybe 26, and then we'll hit the brakes and see what happens. Hopefully I don't go over the bars. But I don't think so on 160 millimeter rotors. Okay, you ready? At this light post. Okay, let's see how we did. The back end locked up some. You can see my skid marks. But there's the light post there. So that's about what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 21, about 24 feet. And I'm a 250 pound rider, so that doesn't help much. But I guess the 160 millimeter rotors did a fine job. I'd still prefer 180 millimeters though. A little more peace of mind. Especially with this being a zippy bike, that people are going to use it for just that, zipping around. But let's get down over here where the hill climb area is. We'll try that out. Here's a little off-road section, a little bumpy right here. See how the full suspension does. Big thump in the front end, and I didn't hit anything really that hard. There it is again. It could be the rebound. It could be rebounding just too hard. So on this little stuff, it feels fine. Both the front end and the back end feel good. All right, it is time for the hill climb test. I think you might be able to see it a little. You can see a little trail that goes up. Well, it goes up there. It gets steeper as it goes, but it does an S-turn that gets really steep on the S-turn. So the XPeak and the Summit 1 made it just past the S-turn. Let's see if this can either match it or do better. But I'm not going to be pedaling. It's going to be throttle only. So let's go. And I'm not going to start off giving it all its power. But let me get a turned around here. And after this hill climb, we'll stop and we'll take a look back, look at the bike, and I'll talk about a few things about it. Maybe some good things, maybe some bad things. Come on, it's supposed to be 2,000 watts. Let's see. Okay, oh, I'm gonna get stickers everywhere. Okay, now we're coming up to the steeper part where the S-turn is. Let's see how it does. This is about where the other ones gave out, and this is about where it's gonna give out. So, it did just as well, but for being a 1,500 watt motor, and peaking at 2,000 watts. I would have expected to do a lot better, at least make it up to here. There it is, the Movcan V60 Pro. Now, at first, I wasn't too sure about the styling, but the styling of it is kind of grown on me. And I'm kind of liking the look of it, but as a bigger rider, I'm just too big for it. I'm too tall and probably a little too heavy. But it does look nice. You know, you got that nice motorcycle type seat right there. But for us bigger riders, it gets uncomfortable quick. But for lighter riders, you may not have a problem at all. But this is what I mean by you can't pedal it. I mean, you saw how much my knees were coming up. You can see how high the pedal comes up right there. So this is going to be one of those ones that is just going to be a probably used throttle 99.9% of the time for anybody who's riding it. But what else we like? Okay, so we have the rear shock right here, and it is adjustable somewhat. You can adjust the preload on this by tightening up the screw or loosening up the screw as you need. But the front end, you can see it has the double crown or triple crown forks, however you want to call it. But there is absolutely no adjustment to them. There's no lockout, there's no preload, there's no rebound. And when I go over bigger bumps, I get a big clunk. And I think it's not the fork bottoming out, but it rebounding too hard, too quickly, and clunk. And you hear that clunk. And of course, there's the brakes, the 160 millimeter rotors there, front and rear. And it's got plastic fenders, which are okay. Doesn't make a whole lot of sound like metal fenders do when you're riding over gravel and it's picking up little rocks. I do kind of like how it's flat right here. I could see people who really like to put stickers and stuff. We'll probably put stickers there. But one of the other things that I didn't like so much, and maybe I can demonstrate this, this seems to be kind of a weak point right here. Let me see if I can show you. You can see the handlebars move, flex. Let me put this back on my chest and I'll show you. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Can you see the handlebars flexing back and forth? It's one of the reasons I probably will not take this off-roading. That just seems like a weak spot. I can see it flexing here. Maybe if you get a more sturdier handlebar mount, that might help. But I think I'm going to keep it to the streets and the trails. So what are my final thoughts on this bike? Well, I think this is going to appeal, like I said, to the younger crowd. The one that wants to be able to zip around, not necessarily off-road, because I don't think I would really want to take this off. I don't think it'd perform that well. You know, maybe a dirt road is about it, but not some serious trail riding. But for riding like this, it does great. But if you're a taller person, it's going to be pretty much throttle only everywhere you go. And these pedals are here just to, I think, make it a legitimate e-bike. If you like this and you're interested in this, or you just want to see more information about it, I'll have a link in the description. And along with that link, there'll be a discount code for you to use. I forget how much it was. I think it was a percentage off on this one. So, and that's probably good on any of their products, because they make a lot more than just this one.